guys, I'm SJ. Happy Baby Name Monday. Every single Monday here on YouTube, I do name lists. I'm a huge name enthusiast, name nerd. I've turned into enthusiast, sounds better. And I help people name babies all the time. I've been doing it for years, but it's a very, very, very special name list today because I have been asking your partners and the male viewers here, your male partners, for their baby name choices. So I have polled, so I put all the names into a list, and basically I picked names that were kind of outside of the top name popularity list, so they couldn't be too easy. I did give them a starting point, and then they've been voting on the names, and then I put all that into a little algorithm, because you know, this is a science. And now I have an amazing top list of names as picked by men, because we argue all the time. You know, I just have launched my podcast, Baby Name Envy, which is all about these dilemmas, and so many of them are coming up as dilemmas between couples, different points of view, and I thought, you know, I think we do approach naming a little bit differently, and I thought also it'd be helpful to have a sort of a starting point of a bunch of names that men in this community really like if you're looking for a name. So thank you everybody who got involved. If your partner would like to be involved next week to pick the girl names, and they are a boy, it could be your boyfriend, it could be a dad if you really want to, or your husband, then do click subscribe and look out for a message on the community tab where I'll be sending a next survey link, and they can do the girl version of this list for us. If you would like to submit a girl name to get men to vote on, then do so in the comment section below. Just write a girl name, not 25,000, just one or two, and then I'll add that to the long list so we can get their votes on it. So I can't wait to share this list with you. Oh, I don't know which way to go around. I think I'm going to go from bottom to top of the most popularly voted on. So 8 that kind of really stood out that had the most votes against it. Then I'm going to tell you some more that were also really, really popular. So at number 8, and then I'll go to number 1. At number 8 was the name Leon. So Leon got a lot of votes from the men in this community. It actually ranks at number 93 in terms of the UK naming charts, popularity charts. So it's inside the top 100. And that's kind of where I was trying to find these sort of sweet spots of names. And I felt this might be really popular. But Leon is kind of cool, isn't it? Bit of an outside choice. Well done, dads. It actually means lion, of course. Leo was really popular, but we are moving a bit more on to Leon, and I can see why. It feels really complete, doesn't it? Really, really nice. Lions are the symbol of kind of kingliness, is that a word? And courage and all those good things. Here in the UK, it's also, well, I guess around Europe, it's a food brand as well. There's a food brand called Leon, which is interesting. So very, very French vibes as well. But I think maybe men are picking it, or dads are picking it because of the band, the Kings of Leon, is another really good way of kind of linking your passion and your music towards a baby name as well. So it could be a reason why guys are liking the name Leon. So check with your partner, see what they think. It comes up in word clouds. I do word clouds each week of the names as well, and it comes up as strong and simple. Sorry men, strong and simple, that's the kind of thing that comes up. Next most popular one at number 7 was the name Felix. So yeah, quite an outsider choice. Again, Felix was very, very diversive. It actually means happy or lucky. So it's a gorgeous name meaning, but for a long time it's kind of been out of vogue because in the UK it is a cat food brand, which is named after the cartoon character of a cat called Felix, which is very, very historic actually, even before Mickey Mouse Disney, I think. It's at number 88 in the UK. So again, it's kind of like at that bottom end of the top 100. One thing about Felix was nicknames. So I was sort of always reading on forums and people were saying, I love Felix, so what would you nickname? And the most popular voted nickname was the nickname Fox. So I did think that was quite cute, because I've not thought of Fox as a nickname for Felix, but obviously it works really well. And if you like the name Fox and aren't brave enough to use it as a first name, you could go with Felix. I thought that was quite a clever thing to know. It is PewDiePie's first name, the biggest YouTuber in the world, Swedish. It's a saint name, so there are many, many saints called Felix. And there's a Harry Potter reference, because I'd never like to go a minute. Every list you ever will search in the world will have a Harry Potter reference, but there is the potion which gives you good luck is Felix Felicitas. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, you might like the name Felix as well. There's much more to it than just a cat food brand, and it was voted really highly by dads. So what they had to do, they were only allowed to pick one from the name list, and they had to pick their favourite, and then so that was a lot of people's favourite. Next up at number 6 is the name Grayson. So it doesn't surprise me, but again, a very modern choice. Grayson is quite a newly popular name. It's got that surname as first name trend going for it. It's at number 72. So again, quite far down the charts. It means son of a steward. So surnames were often either where you lived or your occupation. And so a Grayson was the son of the steward of the house, or steward of a portion of land or something like that. So anything that ends in son, I think is really nice. And you've always got that then option of Sunny as a nickname, which I like. It's starting to get a bit gender neutral this. When I was reading forums, a lot of girls named Grayson did not like being called Grayson. Just to flag that, if you are going to think about it as a unisex name, just have a read. So the forum I was reading that on is called behindthename.com. And then it also is though Robin's surname from Batman and Robin, which I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally forgot. He was like Dick Grayson. So that's really cool, and that actually made me really like it, because randomly we are big Batman fans in this house, where I am now since I've had the kids. So the number 5 was the name Rowan. Aren't these names quite cool? They actually go on quite cool names. It's at number 59. It's really popular, but I think it's a really Britishly popular, is that a word? I feel like it's got really popular here, but I'm not sure how popular it is around the rest of the world. It means citizen of Rome. We have a lot of Roman towns, Roman villages here. I'm from Swindon, which is a very Roman town. It comes up again in the word cloud as strong. And apparently in Swedish, it means novel, like a book, is a Roman. But I need to check that with my husband, who is Swedish, but he's working. But imagine if I just interrupt his meeting. There's some urgent baby name business. I've never heard that word in Swedish, but it could be true. So that is the name Roman. Next is the name Frankie, which did really surprise me because it's just such a new one to me, and it's right next to Roman in the charts. It's at number 58, and it had a lot of votes. The reason it surprised me is because it is a very gender neutral, and I know more girls called Frankie, but Frankie, Franklin, Frank, they were all really gaining in popularity. So Frankie is at number 58, is at number 128 for girls. And in 2015, this is a good fact, it was actually ranked at number 992 for both boys and girls in America. It held the exact same spot, Frankie. So really nice to see that dads are choosing it. I feel like I've got a Freddie, and I do feel like Frankie is almost like the more modern version of Freddie. So it's a really good name. I really like it. So does your partner like Frankie? I know a few Frankies in my son's year who's 7, so I do think it's kind of getting a bit of use in the playground. And I love the history of the name Frank, which comes from the Frank tribe, and that whole thing of to be frank, to talk openly and freely, came from the Franks, the Germanic tribe. And it was only if you were a real leader in the tribe that you could speak openly and freely. Everyone else had to remain quite quiet. And that phrase, to be frank, has just lasted throughout history and time and names. So I really like that one. So next up, our top 3, these all had the same amount of votes from dads. If you are brand new, I just say hit subscribe again. I need to keep remembering my good YouTube things. And don't forget that if your partner wants to take part in the girl version of this list, to hit subscribe, and then I will be on my community tab where you can do that. So number 3 is the name Finn, which is my middle son's name. I've got 3 children, Freddie, Finn, and my daughter Evelina. Finn is at number 3. Again, a very simple and strong name. It is at number 172 in America, but actually globally it's at all around the world. Apart from maybe in Norway. I didn't have all the lists, but I think in Norway it's gone down a little bit. It came up, as Irish originally, and my family's Irish. On my mum's side, my mum was born in Belfast, and Finn, spelled the Irish way, he was an Irish warrior, real folklore hero, very sort of heroic, and I loved it from Huckleberry Finn as well, literature. But it's a Star Wars name since then, since I chose it. So really, again, a popular, simple name, Finn. I can't say I don't like it because it's my son's name, so I obviously really like it. And it's very kind of nature-led as well, so it means sort of fair or white as well. But a really great name, and I'm not surprised lots of dads like it. One thing with my son Finn is that quite often they think his name's Ben, which I don't ever think it sounds similar. So whenever I say Finn, when I went to register him even, the guy was like, Ben. I was like, no, Finn. So maybe that's just because he was quite an early Finn. I was obviously a very hipster namer back then, but just a warn out. Does anyone else have that? And number 2 is the name Rowan. So yeah, cool name, isn't it? Rowan. It came up on the word cloud as a wholesome name, so that's really cool. It's obviously, I think of it as Rowan Atkinson as well, the actor, but I think that that's just me. It is a Scottish-Irish name, and it's a nature name. It comes from the rowan tree. So dads are really liking the name Rowan. So it's kind of got that soft but strong thing going for it as well. It's also a gender-neutral name, and originally it should be an EN for a male and AN for a female Rowan, but AN is the one that is in the charts for boys right now. Where is it? Is it number 82 for boys? It's only at 443 for girls. So it is very much a boy name over here. It also can mean little red head because the tree has red berries. So that's really sweet. Rowan, really nice. And so the number one name, as picked by your male partners and the men in this community, was actually the name Hunter for boys. So I'm not surprised. It is a very, very strong name. It's also really trendy and popular though. So maybe that's because men are really agreeing with it and we're finding it one of our least vetoed choices potentially between couples. Let me know, is that on your list? What does your partner think of the name Hunter? It obviously is a little bit of a controversial name because I love the name Hunter, and it's kind of like an occupational name again, but I am a very plant-based diet, so I always found it a bit strange. And it's kind of been one of those fast fashion names where it only went into the top 100 in 2018. I think maybe that's American actually, because for us, it's peaked at number 44. It was one of the fastest rising names last couple of years ago. But then it dropped already, it's starting to drop down, it's at number 52. So I wonder if it's gonna really, really peak and go back out, which is fine, but it might mean that it gets dated a bit quickly, which is also absolutely fine because I think it's really, really nice. Yeah, so there's not much to say about the name Hunter. It is what it is. It is a surname as first name. It is again one that's sometimes used for both boys and girls, but very mainly a boy name. It comes up as strong in the word cloud, and guys are really liking it. You know, it is that. It is a bit of a classic guy name, I guess, to like, so maybe they're just kind of like, I'll click it. But yeah, that was the number one name. So other names that weren't as strong, those were the top 8 that had lots and lots of votes. Other names that your partners were picking were things like Oakley, again a nature name, Ryan, which I really love the name Ryan. I think that could be a really good sweet spot between boy and girl. Jasper was coming up, Ellis was really liked, Gabriel, Ezra and Jude. So those are all kind of the next suite of boy names that were liked as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit different. I actually had so many of you message me curious about what your partners were going to say. So I'm going to go a bit more detailed with the girl survey, I think, and really try and dig a little. So as I said, I would love for you to add any questions you think would be good for the girl survey or name survey next for the guys. I'll only ask them to do it one more week. Get as many people involved as you can by subscribing and then looking out in the community tab for when I'm going to open up the next survey. And if you would like to submit a girl name for me to put to the public mail poll, pop it in the comment section below as well. Lots and lots of love, guys. There is brand new episodes of Baby Name Envy, the podcast, out at the moment. So if you want to go over there and see if your dilemma, because they were all viewer submitted dilemmas and dramas, is included in the podcast, do go over there. Don't forget to follow Baby Name Envy also on Instagram, where I'm doing a few giveaways of baby name consultancies and things like that. So I'd love to have you over there as well, so I get to maybe meet some of you on Zoom. Lots of love, guys, and I will see you next Monday. Bye bye.